Hello, so this is your week 3 reminder video for the exercises that you're now going to do as part of a block 3 times a week. So we move away from the daily exercises with the exception of pelvic floor, which remains 3 times a day, daily, for the duration of the course. For everything else, we move to do those exercises in a block, and that's set out in the homework square that's posted within the group each week. So, quick reminder, squats. This is where we start to really activate the glutes. Glutes, really important to get them back switched on after we've had our babies. They tend to get quite lengthened as we're in a slightly tilted forward position, and we need to get them working again to help support the pelvis, help you get back into the right alignment, and in turn help support pelvic floor function. So we have feet about hip distance apart, and then we just turn our toes out to about a 10 to 15 degree angle. We pull those tummy muscles in. So imagine that these hip bones or your pelvic bones are coming in. They're shortening into the middle, wrapping the tummy muscles in. Arms out, shoulder height. Take a nice deep breath in. And then we push our bottom backwards, bending at the knees, breaking at the hips, trying to get that hip joint lower than the knee joint eventually. Push through the heels back up to that start position. From the side, taking a deep breath in again. Pushing back into that squat position, nice and slow and controlled. Coming down on an out breath, and then pushing through the heels back into that start position. And push. And we need to do 10 of those each time that you're doing it. Then going to move on to the floor, so we're going to do some abdominal contractions with the band. I have to make sure I've got it. And then we'll move on to the level 3 core work. So abdominal contractions, remember we can do this either just in this seated position with our hands on our bellies, or lying down just to get those core muscles activated. Adding the band makes it harder if you have diastases, if you have tummy muscle separation that's quite severe, so anything beyond maybe 3 fingers, you might want to not add in the band quite yet. That's completely your choice. If you're finding that you are doming or that things just don't feel quite right, leave the band for now and just practice abdominal contractions with your hands on your belly so that you can get used to that motion of activating the core muscles and then relaxing them. So it's that motion of pulling in, relaxing, pulling in on an out breath and relaxing. We add in the band here. So we take a breath in, and as you exhale, squeezing those tummy muscles into the middle, and at the end of the breath, we expand the band. Of those contractions. Then move to the floor for level 1, 2 and 3. Now with all of the levels, you need to work at your level of capability. We're all very different. If you find, particularly for level 3, so level 1 and level 2 are the foundational moves. Level 3, that starts to get a little bit tricky. Now if you're finding that your hips are rocking, that your body's shaking, maybe that you're holding your breath, you might need to just focus for a little bit longer on level 1 and level 2 before you start adding in too many of level 3 and putting too much pressure through those recovering core muscles, particularly if you've got really tiny babies and you're not too far postpartum. But with all of them, we're lying down on our back. So level 1, first of all, we're going to just make sure that we've got some tension through the tummy, that we're pulling those tummy muscles in. Almost imagine that those hip bones are coming together in the middle to really activate the inner core. With level 1, we keep that 90 degree bend through the knee, raise it in towards the chest, and then slowly with control, replace that back down again. We then switch to the other side. So working the legs alternately, slowly with control. Try to coordinate it with your breath. So breathing out as you bring that leg in, and then place it back down. And you need to do 10 on each side. Shuffle back a bit for level 2. So same start position, but this time we extend the leg. Don't tap the heel down, just do an extension, bring it back in, move to the other side, bring it back in. Level 3, one knee comes in, other leg comes up to join it. First leg goes back down, second leg goes back down. That's 1 rep. Then we switch to the other side. Up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Remembering which leg you started on. So the leg that goes up first also comes down first. With this one, what you sometimes find is you'll be able to bring that first leg up, and then you'll find that you're really kicking up to push that leg up. We don't want to kick up. It's not a leg exercise, it's a core exercise. So we need to really activate the core and control that leg up, allowing the core muscles to do the work for you. Okay, that's level 1, 2, and 3. We then have cat-cows, onto all fours. As we breathe in, imagine that breath coming all the way down your body into your pelvic area, and your pelvic area is just going to expand. So we don't want to bear down, but we're just allowing the pelvic floor to lengthen as you look up towards the ceiling and take the tailbone up. And then as you exhale, round that back up, push through the hands, tailbone tucks under, activate the pelvic floor. Breath in, all the way down to the pubic area, expanding that pelvic floor out, pushing back through, tucking under, and on repeat for around 5 times. Okay, so that is your homework for week 3. 3 times a day. Go and put it in your diary now so that it's in there and you can try and do it. Try and spread it out so that you've got at least a day in between to rest and recover, and of course keep up with your pelvic floor work as well. Okay.